Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Monday, everybody. I would say welcome to the new trading week, but I believe we're in some sort of a holiday at the moment, aren't we? So traditional markets not open, but obviously crypto markets are open all the time, and it's a Monday. So yeah, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new crypto trading week, at least. But yeah, I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update, so we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, as we can see, Bitcoin not looking too tasty here. You can see we obviously came below, tested below the lower level of support. Try to make a bounce back up to that important level that I've been talking about, that 58 and a half. As you can see, literally on a week basis, we're practically 58 and a half, and then rejected from that, and now back below basically the lower levels. So yeah, all in all, not a good sign. I did say that I am potentially looking for a squeeze down to, well, I would basically 55k. That's what my crystal ball is telling me. But that doesn't then to say that then doesn't mean to say we will bounce on here and go bullish or break through. I don't really know. I just think it's quite likely we could get down here. Again, I mean, we have basically seen a pullback, a drop down, a pullback, and then potential continuation here. So yeah, 55k. What I do want to show you guys, because we're talking about that gap. So we will go to the CME, and yeah, as you can see, there is our nice juicy gap that we could potentially be trapping some longs in for. But what I do also want to draw your attention to is we've got a gap down here too. I think basically we are going to have a battle of the gaps at the moment. And I think in the next few days that could be a bit of the crypto meme. Well, basically which gap we fill in first. I mean, potentially people were thinking this one, because obviously we are inherently bullish in a bullish market, but this gap, well, I mean, if we look at how far away we are from each gap, price action pretty much at 57.5. To close this gap, we'd be looking at 60k. And then to get down to close this gap, we'd be looking at 54.5k. It's relatively equal, isn't it? And also, don't forget, we have got that next level. If we are just looking at the actual, well, what I trade off, basically horizontals mainly, that is basically around here. A wick down can easily get us down to close that gap. So yeah, that is just another indication that 55. But in much the same vein, they could be trapping longs in that are trying to close this gap, or longs that have basically accumulated here, and then squeezing them down to close this gap. Obviously, there's then going to be buying at this gap, and you never know. They could then basically blast us through this one, and that would not be ideal for structure. But all it would really mean is that we then are just trading sideways within this wider range here. So yeah, could easily be what we have in store, and then that could actually bring us down to test this trend line. Yeah, depending obviously where it came in. I mean, to be honest, it would have to happen pretty quickly for us to realistically need to get lower than the actual gap to close the trend line. But I feel like, as bullish as the market has been, I think there's some bearish worry at least is going to start creeping in, and then could that then be a self-fulfilling prophecy? People that are in lots of profit think, right, I'll take some profit off here. People that bought this dip, I'll take some profit, and then can we come down to well, I mean, you can just have like an eye test here and kind of see realistically the mid part of the level is down, basically is about this 55k, and then there's a gap there also. So yeah, also very nice looking 53k level here, and that obviously would then blast us straight through the gap a bit lower, squeeze some extra people that bought that gap, and then we could turn it around. And then 53k potentially would actually would get us down pretty much to this horizontal we've got here, actually through this trend line as well. So Have we got some downside? I mean, like I said, so far as actually analysing it, I mean, realistically, it's basically above 58.5k, close above there, get back into this area. Crisis averted, and then yeah, we'll probably then at that point be onwards and upwards. But whilst ever we're below here, the higher likelihood scenario is clearly 55k. So yes, let's have a look at our Ethereum BTC. As you can see over the weekend, tried to pop out of this this pennant, but we didn't manage it. But we are so now pulled back. But yeah, it's still basically hovering around that same 0.35 level. So yeah, obviously it was a weekend. I mean, it's still potential, technically a holiday, so i.e. like a sort of weekend trading. But yeah, I mean, we are looking for a move in this. We are looking for a move. Bitcoin has been pretty weak and it's been holding up here. So it's yeah, this is pretty good to see. Has Ethereum turned that corner? I mean, I certainly think it is on the brink of basically FOMO bullish against Bitcoin and people starting to get back in. But yeah, I mean, this is our major level. Get through here, then we are basically going to be looking at taking out this level. I would guess, with it only being a matter of time, and then continuing either basically continuing to the top of this channel, which would ultimately be over, which would ultimately at that point it would be over 0.06. So if you want to look at what that gives us now against Bitcoin, just for a pure Ethereum moon boy speculation, I mean, yeah, it's given us about a 70% increase against Bitcoin relative to where we are now. So yes, that would give us an Ethereum price of 3,400. Well on our way to 8k, and that's just with that move with Bitcoin basically staying where it is. Obviously it won't stay where it is, but the relative move against Bitcoin, clearly if Bitcoin then makes a move up, say 25%, then clearly then this would then be 25% higher on 3,500, which would put it well into the 4,000s, and then we are looking at less than a 2x to 8k EOY. So there is the Ethereum moon boy case. Bitcoin dominance, just have a glance, look at it collapsing. I know that a number of analysts for a while have been trying to FUD our altcoins. Constant FUD, trying to tell us that Bitcoin dominance was reversing and going to go back into the 70s. Obviously you guys know that I've never been of that persuasion. The same people were also dollar bulls, and that didn't really work out well for them. Yeah, anyway, anyway, there you go. But yeah, so we are looking, and if we just look at this, I mean, we realistically are looking at, and in the larger time frame, which we're clearly looking at, we are looking at swing failure above the out of this descending broadening wedge. So we are basically looking at the target of the bottom of the descent of this bottom trend line now, and that is going to be like whenever it comes in, it is going to be an epic move for altcoins. It is going to be an epic move, because don't forget, obviously Bitcoin is, well, at the present, 57% of the market. So obviously that's a lot of value then gets lost with the percentage moves down to then pump into whichever alts it pumps into. I'm sure I don't need to like make that too clear for you. In much the same way that when Bitcoin dominance is going up, it's like, well, the altcoin market is smaller, so that money coming into Bitcoin doesn't necessarily make Bitcoin go wild. It just makes it perform better than alts. But obviously the flip side is that when Bitcoin does come down, it does make the alts go wild, because Bitcoin is a lot bigger market cap, so there's a lot more funds per percentage point coming into altcoins. And then we do also then know there is clear bifurcation between certain types of altcoins, and some of them getting some severe pumps, whilst other ones potentially lagging. Yeah, stocks obviously looking brilliant. I mean, looking brilliant. It's looking brilliant. It doesn't. Remember, the trend is your friend, and we're going to continue upwards, I think, into probably Q4 this year. So yeah, make hay whilst the sun shines, and then come the winter time, I think we'll potentially be battening down the hatches in more ways than one. So yeah. Yes, 10-year as well, creeping back up there as well, as you can see. But anyway, so what else did I want to look at? Ethereum USD, quick look at Ethereum USD as well. Yeah, you can see, basically, topped out pretty much on that 409, a bit of a pullback. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad. Not looking bad here. I mean, realistically, we've got support here. We've got support levels. We're looking bullish. We're looking good. We can easily come down. We can easily come down to any levels and put in a higher low. I mean, do I want to start drawing non-horizontal lines in, which you guys know that I'm not massively a fan of. But yeah, we'll draw some in because potentially they could be of relevance. I mean, I would probably say as long as we're above this, we're still looking good, and maybe we will start to affect a sort of ascending triangle. So yeah, I mean, realistically, we could get a pullback. Obviously, if it came right now, sub 1700, but I mean, if it was the pullback to here, probably would end up being around here, so maybe around 1750 level. But I'm not saying that's happening, because often in crypto, when we see potential ascending triangles, they just bust on upwards anyway. They don't give you a chance for that perfect trade at the low end of the triangle, and if it does, it usually basically breaks down, so it ends up not being the most perfect trade you thought it was. So yeah, Ethereum USD looking good. That is about everything that I wanted to look at other than the stochastics. Are they basically signaling that move down to 55k? Yeah, I mean, 4 hours not going to be much help at the moment. 10 hour still diving. 12 hour got a lot of room to run, and daily is just turned down with lots of room to run. I mean, you would hope this is just going to be a bullish reset of this daily, because if this daily does get moving all the way down, 2-day not looking so bad though. 3-day sort of okay. I mean, the high one's not looking too bad, but yeah, if this daily starts to dive, then if the daily starts to dive, we are coming down basically to 52. That will be where we hope to get held, put in a higher low, maybe some wicks obviously down into this horizontal, but maybe get supported by this trend line. But yeah, and then we would be forming a pretty nice looking ascending triangle, but it would be hold your breath time, and I suspect we'll take out this and at least tap this, maybe even wick below this and come back up if we're gonna stay bullish, which I expect we are. Macro trend, that's it. I imagine we are going to stay bullish, but yeah, we could basically get some squeaky bum time coming in. And how does Ethereum Ethereum overperform Bitcoin in that pullback, and then the Ethereum Satoshi pairing continue on upwards? Potentially that would be my hope and dreams. So yeah, other than that, not too much else to say, guys. Yeah, if you guys are in the Telegram chat, yeah, lots of exciting altcoin chat in there. I know I don't do any really at the moment of those altcoin gem videos, but all the altcoin discussion, all the altcoin gems is in the Telegram chat, so just join the Telegram chat. You guys that were in Alchemist, you guys know that's pretty much heavily shilling and touting Alchemist for a while. Has obviously gone on a nice crazy run. Yeah, crazy run, basically got to about $100 today. So yeah, all that jazz is in the Telegram chat, so feel free to join. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.